city of the suns. You could have stayed, it's only over when the day is done. I never knew you was a runner, yeah. I mistook you for a son. It don't matter what we think when it's all over. 'Cause this is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah. This is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice, raise your power, yeah.
Archie, is it fun?
Fun.
Fun.
After me. Ready? Happy?
Happy.
New?
New?
New. Yeah.
Boom.
Was wrong to say I wouldn't change a thing, 'cause in the story of our lives, the best of times through color glass, time rolls on enough to let me move on past, but every little now and then it creeps on back to shape my smile.
Today is June 25th, 2025. It is 4:07 a.m. The video that I'm doing now probably will be on Output of Pew Service or PYTE. So I have Archewell and Travalyst. So let's go on Twitter because I don't want this video to be too long. Alright, so let's go on Twitter. We are on Twitter. This is the first tweet regarding Archewell. Okay, today Harry and Meghan's Archewell Foundation remarks social media harms Remembrance Day. This day was designated in 2024 by a bipartisan resolution in the U.S. Senate to commemorate the lives of young people who have lost their lives due to online harms. The link of this will be in the description, and let's read that. It's very short. I shared that on my community board. I'm not sure which channel I put it on. Today we mark Social Media Harms Remembrance Day. This day was designated in 2024 by a bipartisan resolution in the U.S. Senate to commemorate the lives of young people who have lost their lives due to online harm. The day was put forward by several members of the Parents Network, the families of Carson Bride, Alexander Neville, and Devin Noren, three young people who tragically lost their lives in connection to harm on social media platforms. The Archewell Foundation recognizes the young people who have suffered harm on social media and commends the families and activists who are fighting for safer and more accountable online spaces. Today, families and activists gathered in Washington, D.C. to honor the lives of 245 young people who have lost their lives. We are proud of the members of the Parents Network who continue to come together as a community to support one another and ensure that no child is lost to social media. All right, so let's go back on Twitter and see what some people are saying. Oh, there's no comment. There's absolutely no comment. All right, let's go to the next tweet. This one has to do with Meghan and Lili. Okay, maybe I'll put this on PYTE. Look at Princess Lili working with mommy and already learning how to be a business mogul. I love her cute little bag. Let's see here. I'm saying the squad is only 2 seconds. It's almost like a GIF. It's only 2 seconds. So the squad already identified the bag. So it's that. Oh my goodness. Let's read some of the comments. I remember Meghan saying Lili only does half days at school. So cool. She gets to help mommy at work. All right. Was it out of stock already? $40. Wow, that's kind of expensive. I love how Meghan lets her kids dress like normal kids, nothing like how some celebrities dress their kids in basically grown-up clothes for the sake of fashion. Okay, I giggle a bit at this picture. Okay, when I was little, I used to carry my purses everywhere with me. We love our jelly cat, so cute. Lili must be homely. That's why Mental Meg, was it Mental Meg isn't showing the girl's face? What the hell is this? Lili must be homely. That's why Mental Megs isn't showing. I mean, she has the right to protect her kids' privacy. What's this album? I forgot the musician name. They put a baby's face, actually his body, like underwater. What's the name of that artist? And the baby was on the cover of their album, and several years later, could have been 2 or 3 years ago, that baby that was on the cover was suing the artist. Let me see if I could find out. So Meghan wants to protect her kids. My goodness, what is wrong with these people? Let me go look for that, what I'm making reference to. I went on Google. I pretty much typed whatever was in my mind. So this is what I wrote here. What's the name of the artist who got sued by the baby they had on one of their album cover? Right? Can't finish it. Okay, the artist whose baby on an album cover sued them. Oh, Nirvana. Yeah, my God, I completely forgot. Nirvana regarding the album cover for their album Nevermind. Okay, the individual who filed the lawsuit is Spencer Elden, who was the naked baby pictured on the album cover when he was 4 months old. Ilden's lawsuit alleged child exploitation and pornography, claiming the band knowingly distributed the naked photo of him as a baby and profited from it. Okay, so let me see if I could. Alright, this is it. Well, something like that. I don't know if that was the full. I think it's this, more like this, something like that. But anyway, all right, so Harry and Meghan have the right to protect their child. Okay, this is perfect. All right, Meghan and Harry has the right to protect their children's identity. I don't know why these people keep on following them and demanding to see their faces. My goodness. All right, next tweet. Now this is about Travalyst. There's 2 tweets about it. I think they probably the same cover, maybe different caption. Okay, Prince Harry's at Travalyst CEO Sally Davey joined Women and Travel CIC panel on climate, conservation, and gender equity. All right, let's see here. The link of this will be in the description. What is this? That's from LinkedIn. Okay, Sally Davey posts, yesterday I joined a Women and Travel CIC panel on climate conservation and gender equity. It was the first panel I've sat on where we actually talk about the system level interconnectedness of this issue, acknowledging that we can't solve macro challenges in isolation or without localized knowledge. The event was fantastic, not least as it did one of the most valuable things we can do in driving gender equity. It provides a safe space for everyone to share their life experience. This creates a powerful sense of honesty and openness, which we need if we are to address difficult, uncomfortable challenges. The openness led me to sharing more of my own personal journey as chief executive of Travalyst, notably the vital role that male allies play, two in particular, Gianni Marostica, Travalyst board chair and Prince Harry Travalyst founder. If it wasn't for Prince Harry, I would have talked myself out of this job and never had the chance to lead Travalyst, the organization that has come to mean more to me than almost anything. I remember when there's an interview that she did, and she said something like when she was gonna meet Prince Harry for interview to talk about Travalyst. You know, at that time the name didn't come up or whatever, just the beginning of it. And she didn't think much, like Harry will know much about the topic, but after their conversation, their meeting, she was blown away by how much Harry knew. Okay, so anyway, let's continue. If it wasn't for Prince Harry, I would have talked myself out of this job and never had the chance to lead Travalyst, the organization that has come to mean more to me than almost anything. Santa Bali came to mind as I'm reading this because there's Harry who like to motivate and push people to do better and become the best version of themselves, and then you have that woman Shanduka who's sabotaging organization that was there for almost what? How long? 20 something years? I don't know. That just crossed my mind. I had never seen a woman CEO with a small baby in tow, as I had at the time, let alone working from a rural location. I had assumed all those things were blockers and would rule me out. It turns out I was wrong, because when I shared this with Prince Harry as reason why I can apply for the role, he simply said, if you want to do the job, then instead of talking about why it might not be possible, let's talk about what we need to do to make it possible. That includes building a remote team with extreme flexibility and compressed hours, plus limited travel in the early days, all things I had wholly assumed were not feasible. It was a mind-blowing moment in my career, even as an entrepreneur with fairly unhealthy level of optimism. I had completely overlooked how limited my internal narrative was, so I said, okay, let's test it for 3 months. Secretly assume I will be proving right. That was 6 years ago. Since then, we've built a woman-led organization with a majority women board and team. We design maximum flexibility into our roles and policies to ensure everyone can aim higher in our fast-paced, ambitious team, but never feel they had to pit work against family. And I think he's practicing it himself. All right. This is something Gianni gets more than anyone. He was doing male allyship for years before it was even a concept. You know what that remind me? When all four of them were sitting on the stage, that's Meghan, Harry, William, and Kate. And that's something where Meghan was talking about women empowerment and things like that, where Meghan says, to get that, we need men to be part of that, to include it. Let me put the part where I'm making reference to.
Touched on it before. You have, it's well known, you've championed the empowerment of women and young girls and promoting their self-worth. How do you hope to continue that work with the Royal Foundation?
Yes, I mean, I think that knowing that I've just been here for 3 months, right? And in that amount of time, but with that said, for me, it's very important to, once you hit the ground running, even if you're doing it quietly behind the scenes, which is what I've focused my energy on thus far, is meeting with the right people, meeting with the right organizations behind the scenes quietly, learning as much as I can so that I can maximize the opportunity we have here to really make an impact. I think what's interesting is I hear a lot of people saying, when speaking about girls' empowerment, finding and knowing their worth, or women's empowerment as well, you'll often hear people say, well, you're helping women find their voices. And I fundamentally disagree with that, because women don't need to find a voice. They have a voice, they need to feel empowered to use it, and people need to be encouraged to listen. And I think right now in the climate that we're seeing with so many campaigns, I mean, with Me Too and Time's Up, there is no better time than to really continue to shine a light on women feeling empowered and people really helping to support them, men included in that. I mean, it makes such a tremendous difference. So, yeah, just I guess we wait a couple months and then we can hit the ground running. But up until then, I'm pretty excited.
All right, so let's continue. Anyone who has ever spent time with him knows what a wonderful human he is, dedicated to actively supporting women and their careers and crucially understanding and validating the reasons why it can be super hard along the way. I know how fortunate I am to have these male allies supporting me, and I hope I have done justice to their faith in me even when I lack faith in myself, because there is one thing I've learned and I'm reminded of daily in this job. We have no idea what's possible until we take the break off our imagination and just let's see what might be possible. That's very interesting. Very interesting. So when she applied for the job, she had a baby and Harry works around him, around her, make it work. Okay, Sally Davey, it was such a powerful story. If I was a betting person, I would predict there are women's lives you will change who really listen to you. All right, so moving to read this, and such a powerful example of what can happen when imagination, allyship, and trust come together. It's a real privilege to work alongside you. Okay, very interesting. And the incredible Travalyst team supporting the people practices that make this bold and inclusive way of working not just possible, but lasting. You inspire more than you know. All right, so there's more comment. I'll leave the link, her LinkedIn link in the description. Back to this, there's no comment. There's another one that I put regarding Travalyst. I'm not gonna read this again. Let's see if there are comments. I don't remember. Other than that, the video is done. Okay, so there are some comments. A testament to the man Prince Harry is, quote, if it wasn't for Prince Harry, I would have talked myself out of this job and never had the chance to lead Travalyst, the organization that has come to mean more to me than almost anything. All right, we love Sally, Prince Harry, and Travalyst. Okay, wow, beautiful, sure, amazing. Okay, so that's that. The other thing is an ad. So that's it. Please take home. Let's do a prayer. Let's say prayer for support. All right, let's do this one. Prayer for strength. Jesus, captain of my life, may your strength arise. Deep to deep, my heart will soar with you on grace-filled skies. Jesus, captain of my mind, may your hope take flight. Wing to wing, my faith will fly with you on promise bright. Jesus, captain of my soul, may your love abide. Heart to heart, you cherish me. With you, I come alive. Okay, so that is it. I think I'm gonna put this on PYTE. Okay, so I'll put this here. If our part of your service was monetized, maybe I would have put it there, but this one is monetized. So that's it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. All right, so there's more I need to record tonight, and that will be on either here or Team Sussex. All right, so that's it. Thank you for watching.